trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors.
The following is a presentation of TFNN. Trade what you see with Larry Pesavento. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648 or internationally at 727-873-7618. Now, Larry Pesavento.
Okay, folks, as you know, each day I try to update us what we're doing with the commodity, with the futures for the stock indices and foreign exchange and gold. And last night, I sent this out as it was happening. It was on its way. It hadn't quite hit it yet. We were looking at this long-term ABCD here over the last 3 days. For us, that's long-term, 5 days, of course. But anyway, you can see the number here on the 1.618 expansion was 26,342. Well, it missed it. The high was 23,349. We're now trading at, I don't know what the update is. I saw just a little while ago. It's around this level here, 26,124. But what was so important about that, at the same time that was happening, we were looking at one standard deviation from the mean at that same price right up here, and that's why it was so very, very important. Now, will this mean anything long-term? I don't know, but when you add it with the wedge with the S&P, and you add it with the S&P, or with the New York Stock Exchange Index, you know, it certainly looks like it could mean something very significant. So we'll get back here, and what we're going to do now is we're going to take a quick look here. This happens to be silver on a short-term basis, but we'll get this out of the way. What we'll do next is we'll look at the Dow Jones. And the Dow Jones has been the weakest, actually, for the last few days through here. It's hardly been able to get out of its own way. We made a 382 retracement here this morning, but we've had lower tops in here when we've had new highs in the NASDAQ and new highs. Well, NASDAQ never really made a new high. It made a new high on a continuation, but not on a contract high. That was done back on December the 26th. But you'll notice here we did make a new high in the Russell at one time, and then you can see some of these are rolling over. So if you would have been short, you know, last week when we were saying we're getting ready for a big break, well, we got a huge break, but we got a big retracement back. So you got to count that maybe if this would be a down week this week, that would really be significant if it did that. But let's move on here for just a second, and I want to what am I doing wrong here? I'm still looking at something wrong here. Oh, there's the Russell. Hold on. Here's the Russell right there. Now you can see what we did with the Russell here. All we did, we had the big run up here, way back here. Where it made new highs. Remember that? We already talked about that. That's when it made its new highs. Then we came down. We rallied up to the 50%, came down, went back and touched the 50% again today. So as of today, last week was the high, but in fact, we haven't done a new high yet in the two indices, which is the Russell and the Dow Jones, which are the smaller of the indices that we look at. Okay, we got that one out of the way. Now I think we have to look at the stop and P, and we'll get this up here. It shouldn't be saying that. Oh, well, there's nothing wrong about stopping and P. That's what it is. Okay, here is this is the, let me do it one at a time here, folks. Here is the, where's that wedge formation? You can see that wedge formation forming. Now, if you move over again, and we're going to go back in history just a little bit, because you remember how bearish we were last March. If I can get it up here, there it is. There's that same wedge formation into that April low that was right down here. Remember that monster low that we had right there? That was the big ABCD equal move to the downside. So we're having the same type of a pattern unfolding here with this one today. And I think if we looked at the S&P, which is here somewhere on this page, and I think we'll find it if I hit tile vertical, I'll be able to pop it up without too much trouble. Unless I deleted it and it looks like it's gone. Yeah, I'm looking at too much, but let's get it up here because that's a really important one because so many people do trade that and we watch it just because the patterns are so very interesting most of the time. Hold on just a second here. Get this up here right now. Running a little slow today, folks, but I'm hanging in there. Okay, here's the hourly chart on this one I wanted to show you last night, just like we were watching the NASDAQ at that same price. You can see here, there you are. We were looking for the market to come to 70.35. The high was 70.41. Now we're trading about 30 handles under that, which you'll see the 382 on this today would take you down to 69.81. That would be your first area where you'd have some pretty good support as we're looking at this here so far this morning. Okay, now let's get back here and we'll take a look at gold and silver for just a second. Now, this is a short-term pattern on silver, you can see, but what we were watching here on silver, we're going to get this up on the hourly basis because that gives us a really broad picture of what we're watching now. There was a pattern we were looking for going back to the low that we made back in January, December 26th. That ABCD pattern measured to 17,000. The high that we got to was 18, was it 18,000? I think we did. This is saying 1770, 1770 was the high. Then we came down, and then we made a low right here. There's your 382 for this last low right back here. All right, and look at this ABCD pattern that we had here last night, folks. This is what we were thinking, that you'd probably see something like this. And there it is. There's your A, B, C, D pattern right here. We're going to draw it in, keep it as simple as possible as we go through looking at this. And you'll see there was your ABCD pattern coming up right to the right price. Then we had the breakdown, then we had the rally back, and then we had the lower high in here. That's what's telling us there were a little bit of resistance coming in at that time. And what we were doing at that time was watching how the AI forecast was forecasting. You can see there it is. It's starting to come down. Now we just completed the objective. Right now, there's your A, B, C, D on that objective right now. So that tells you where you are with that pattern as you're looking at. Folks, when we come back, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about, these numbers and stuff that we see on everything. I mean, everything does in the whole world is based on numbers. Everything in the stock market, medicine, law, everything is based on wins, losses, what the probabilities are of any certain things happening. That's what AI is all about, and that's why we want to, keep it down to numbers. It makes it a lot easy for everything that we're watching. The million-dollar question is gold made a new high? We have made a new high today, folks. We'll just see where we are here with the gold here this morning. Just made a new high. We're still going higher. But if we get up, I'm doing April gold now, folks, because that's the lead contract, and I've got to switch that over here pretty soon here. And then we'll see it. Dear, come on now. What happened to my April gold? There it is. It's right here in front of me. We'll be right back, folks. Stay tuned.
Sharpening your skills as an investor is like getting better at playing a musical instrument. You have to practice, sure, but you also need excellent instruction from experts. At TFNN, you'll get advice and guidance from the authority in technical market analysis. And it's not just dry, tedious text either. TFNN airs live financial content streamed live on TFNN.com and TFNN's YouTube channel with Tiger TV, live every market day from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern, for free. Each host is an experienced trader and gives their take on the market while taking calls and questions live from around the world. From the moment the market opens until the closing bell sounds, Tiger TV has 8 different shows with expert hosts to help you make the right moves with your money. Watch online at TFNN.com or on TFNN's YouTube channel and become the investor you were born to be. TFNN, educating investors.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
The reality is that navigating financial markets can be risky. Markets can be chaotic and difficult to understand. Having the latest market advice can help you turn this chaos into a key for creating winning trades. At TFNN, we understand that it can be hard to find reliable market news. That's why each of our market experts offers their very own market newsletter, a must-have tool for every trader out there striving to find an edge in today's markets. TFNN newsletters cover every aspect of the markets so you can analyze the market before you trade. Try any of our great newsletters risk-free with our 30-day money-back guarantee. Just visit the Newsletters tab on the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
Okay, folks, we're back with the gold market. We're going to be watching it here. This is the last several weeks in gold on the hourly chart. You can see all of the ABCD patterns that we can see that are, some of the smaller ones are not here, but we don't need those for what we're doing here. You'll notice here we had a 382 pullback here, and we had a 382 pullback here. Each one of them were exactly equal. So, whoops, let's get this out of the way. Each one of them was exactly equal. In other words, this move that we had right there was exactly equal to that. That was $140 retracements. Okay, both of them were right there. This one, we had the ABCD that measured this. Now we've got another one forming. So what we're going to say is, why won't it possibly do what it did before? So all we got to do is just move this one right up here like this and put it right there, okay? And that tells us we should get to this number right up here, which is 6371. Excuse me, 5,700. We're $31 away. Well, you can see the 1.618. Let's go with that one, 53.90. Now that's just 4 hours. Excuse me, hourly. What we're going to do now is we're going to go down to the 4-hour chart, and that's going to give us all the swings going back since January. See how they're all coming up here? All I did was do each of them. You can see they're right at either 382 on just about all of them, and that's what we're looking at. That brings us to the price right up here. 53.72 versus 53.91. You see how close we are to almost $54,000? $5,400. It might be $54,000, who knows? But that's what the number says we're coming up to. This one says 5372. If we look on the shorter time frame, it's going to say 5373. But guess what? There's your 1.618. That's the number, what you'd like to see, because at this level, you've got to risk $17. But at this level here, you only have to risk about 10, because if it doesn't stop there, it's not going to stop at all. Okay, so let's. Oh, I hope you can't hear that noise, because this is Wednesday, and this is one of the days that the boys are here working on the lawn. Today, it doesn't make any difference what they're doing. All right, let's get this back out of the way. I'm going to check with Al just to see if there's any static coming through. Al, is there any static coming through on what noise is going on? So I guess not, and hopefully we'll find out, and we'll see clear and clear. Okay, all right, little human interest story. We're always talking about numbers and all this stuff, folks. Every game you play, whether it's a stock market, roulette, horses, doesn't make any difference. Baseball, basketball, football, hockey, they all have numbers. How many guys he scores, how many times he takes shots at the goal, all that stuff. One of my favorite quotes by Warren Gretzky, it says, "You miss 100% of the shots you don't take." So you've got to take shots. It's all about risk control and the things that you're looking at as you're watching these, understanding. Nothing is more important than what we have when we're looking at the stock market. As you know, I have a hobby that I've had for the last 50, 60 years, because my grandfather got me started doing it when I was just a little guy, and that was watching horses, playing horses. We used to go down to Louisville from Terre Haute, Indiana, and he would show me what he was doing. He did the same thing. When you're playing the horses, folks, when you walk into the track, you're playing the worst game in the world for betting is when you go to the racetrack. It's 16 2/3% of the time the odds are in the favor. That's bigger than any gambling game that they have in Las Vegas, with the exception of Keno. Okay, so that means the odds of you winning are really, really bad. But the difference is horse playing is just like poker, because you can decide when you want to bet, how much you want to bet, and you can change your bet, but not once the race starts. You can't change your bet. But what you're looking for is all the different numbers. So what I do is I watch certain things that are happening. Okay, in 1973, this was the year after boy, that noise is terrible in my end. This was right after the year Secretariat won the Triple Crown, and horse racing was as popular as it ever was. I almost cannot continue because it's so loud here, folks. I'm glad you can't hear it, but I'm even losing my train of thought. Anyway, let me tell you what happened. This was, dear. I don't want to waste any time doing it. Let's just keep on working. Oh, God bless America. He's right outside the window now. He'll be gone in just a second. Okay, let's get over here, and we're going to take a look at the dollar and the euro and all that stuff. Okay, something really significant really happened here in the dollar, and you'll see here, there's where we are right there. We had the big ABCD down here on the daily. That's one of the reasons why we're having a really strong rally today in the dollar and the euro, and all the others are backing off. This is one we've had for quite some time. Remember, now we've taken out the September lows, okay? So this is a really big bottom that we have going on in here. Of course, there's also the possibility on a long-term monthly that we could get just a little bit lower down in here, but this is not the death of the dollar, folks, that you're hearing in the news. If it is the death of the dollar, it's going to be the death of all of us, because that means that hyperinflation is back, and we're going to be looking at some real serious things. I don't see that happening at all as we look at these charts here unfolding here today. Okay, so that's the dollar index. Now we're going to take a look at the euro. As we come and take a look at the euro, we had a long trade in the euro back here. Looks really great. And of course, being the mental giant that I was, we had to take profits up here, right? And actually, we went short there for about 2 hours, then lost our 40 pips. But there was a number right there. We went sharply higher. Okay, so we missed that part of it. But at the same time, we were also on the other side of that. We were in the Japanese yen. Now I've lost that one. Oh, now this is not good. Oh. Oh boy, these used to be, well, they are illegal in Los Angeles County, but they're not illegal here. These these blower things that just move okay, well, he's run out of gas or something. Hold on a second here. We'll get over. Where's my Japanese yen? Right here, because this is the one that we really liked, if you remember. Whoa, got to get the chart up here. I believe that was a 4-hour. Hello. It's not coming up. Oh, now I got to go to the daily. running a little data problem here now, so this is not, it's a wrong chart. That's Visa. Sorry, boys and girls. I'm hitting on about 3 cylinders today. Hold on a second here. There's where we are right there. Okay, there's where we were. Had a beautiful move off of that. There was your beautiful butterfly pattern that we had right up here. Remember, that was a long-term old high in the dollar index. Everybody said it's going to 162 to 170, and there it was right there. And then in just a few days, has the big move down. Now you can see we're having a little bit of reversal today because the dollar index has bottomed, and that's mean we're having a little buyer. So what you have to watch now is you got to watch this 382 here for the next few days, because that's going to be the key. Because if that doesn't hold and this breaks, then the U.S. dollar is going to come all the way. It's going to break down into this area right here, and that's going to be causing big problems. Okay. Now remember, folks, when stocks dropped, you remember their stock started to drop in March. That's when the big drop was. You remember that? From March, there's where our April low was. That's where our number was this was the day that President Trump was in the.
If you spend any time online researching trading techniques on how to begin your trading journey, you've no doubt come across many folks who push Forex trading as a way to make big money quickly. Unfortunately, there are equally as many stories of these so-called Forex professionals just looking to make a quick buck off aspiring traders without actually teaching the ins and outs of the Forex market. This is what sets Teddy Keckstack's The Tiger Forex Report off the riffraff. Every Monday, former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member and author Teddy Keckstack releases his Tiger Forex Report newsletter, where he dives into the complex world of Forex and takes time to actually teach you his methods that have made him so successful in the fast-paced and rewarding world of Forex trading. Furthermore, all subscribers receive access to archived live streams of Teddy's, where he provides university-level education to help you in Forex trading. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So what are you waiting for? Forex awaits.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Are you ready to take charge of your financial future? TFNN is your gateway to the world of trading and investing. Whether you're starting out or scaling up, TFNN empowers traders and investors of all skill levels with top-notch investing systems, strategies, and techniques. It's time to protect and grow your money with insight you can trust. Join us live Monday through Friday during market hours for exclusive content that moves with the markets. At TFNN, we bring the trading floor to you. Our seasoned hosts are here to answer your calls and questions live on the air. Check out the Tiger's Den for just $1 and follow us on YouTube and become part of our vibrant community. And remember, at TFNN, we're so confident in the value we provide that we offer a 30-day money-back guarantee on all new premium newsletter subscriptions and services. You have absolutely nothing to risk, so why wait? Tune in live to Tiger TV and transform your trading journey, because when you know better, you invest better. Join us and experience the difference today. TFNN, educating investors. This portion of Trade What You See is brought to you by Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the direction. Visit Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Okay, folks, we're going to look at the British pound next. Here's where we are right here. I know it's a little boring for you guys to just hear nothing but ABCDs, but by guys, that's all I know, folks. I really do. That's all I do. I know one thing, as old Jack Palance said in City Slickers. There's your ABCD pattern right there. There was your AB leg right there. There's your CD leg right there. So we're going to have some consolidation in here. This is going to be important. The whole world now is talking about the dollar and the fact how the dollar looks. It doesn't look that bad, folks. It just went down and washed everybody out, just like it washed all the longs out, shorts out here. That's what it did on the other side. So if it keeps going here, then there's something different. But right now, that is not what's happening right now. Okay. I'm getting a little energy back. I'm going to tell you an open interest story. It's one of my favorite stories. It's a little different, but it's all about numbers. 1965, I met Eddie Horowitz, Peter Leides, Jim Twentyman, Larry Williams, Roy Fassel, all this. Oh, my God. Ricky the Rocket Burns, oh my God, I can't. Rick Barnes, all those guys I met at the same time. Okay, we became friends through the year. Eddie Horowitz, who was working for Hornblower and Weeks as a stockbroker, one of the best in the business for them. Hornblower and Weeks had another stockbroker back east named, oh boy, I'm having a senior moment here. I'll think of it in just a second. Boy, right on the tip of my tongue. Well, let's move on to the next one. That shows you when you're having a bad day, that's the way it is. Anyway, Eddie taught me about this betting system for you. If you go into the track, what you want to the racetrack, you don't bet on the first 7 races. You want to bet on races 8, 9, or 10, because everybody that's playing horses during those first 7 races are losing for 2 reasons. They don't know what they're doing, and they don't have a system, and also the odds are against them 16 2/3%. But in the last parts of the races, betting changes because they're betting on long shots to try to get even. Okay, and that's where your favorites come in, because the favorites, the ones that are handicapped by the professionals, have a better chance of winning. The statistics say that if you bet on the favorites, the horses that are 2-1, 3-1, 4-1, in the last parts of the races 8, 9, and 10, or 7, 8, and 9, whatever the last 3 races are, the odds change, because that horse has a chance of finishing to show for either first, second, or third 85% of the time. In other words, you're not looking at 16 2/3 minus, you're looking at 85% positive. Now, the usual payoff at the track is if the horse is 2-1, that horse to place is going to play 240. Okay, so if you bet $2, that means you're making 20% on your investment. Okay, now, but if you're betting on those races, that horse is going to be overlooked because he pays so little. Even though he's a high probability of winning, he pays so little. And so people are thinking how much they're going to win versus how much money can they lose. Just like in our business, we focus on how much we want to lose. So what happened was this is what you do. So Eddie had a way of looking at horses. He had about 2 or 3 horses a month for many years, and he was better in win, place, and show. He was far better than 50%, but he had some big winners. On that particular day, January 28th, which happened to also be the day today, which also was the day I lost my mother in 1970. She was 49 years old. We grew up together. She had me when I was 16. Anyway, we were getting ready to play this horse, and we were on the infield at Santa Anita Racetrack, and we each had our 3-piece suits on and everything, and Eddie was all excited. The name of the horse was I'm an Old Pro, and he was written by a old jockey named Bobby Howard, and so the horse was supposed to be 30-1, and he was going off at 50-1. He hadn't ran in 2 years, but Eddie was expecting that. He had watched how this trainer operated, and he waited to see for a certain race to come up, and then that was the race, and this was the race. And so we got there, and I made my bet, and we were standing there about 5 minutes before. He said, "You make the bet?" And I said, "Yeah." He said, "Show me the ticket." So I showed him the ticket, and I had a $50 win ticket on the horse. He said, $50? And he got mad at me. And he says, "Boy, you really don't believe in anything I do you?" And this is a guy who's king of the hill in Los Angeles, folks. And I said, "Okay." I see how much I got $200 and some. He said, "Go bet it all on the horse." And he said, "Bet this exact." He gave me it was 11 horse with the 247. He said, "Bet the 11 in the wind with 247 to finish second. And so I said, okay. So I went to bet everything I had on it. And he said, came back, there's about 1 minute to go. And he said, what's going to happen now? He said, I'm an old pro. He's going to start out slowly. He'll be in the middle. It was a 1 mile race. And he said, that's what we want to see happen. The race takes off. I'm an old pro, takes off like a rocket ship. He's 10 lengths ahead into the first 70 yards in the race. And Eddie is just, he's on his knees cussing. And he's got his three-piece suit on, and his friends around him are laughing and everything. And he's cussing, and he's, how could they do this to me? How could they do this to me? They get to the top of the stretch, and he's still ahead, but they're losing a little bit. And they get to the back stretch. He's back in the middle of the pack now. He's not ahead, but he's still got a slight chance. And Eddie says, just throw your tickets away. It's no good. So we get to the top of the stretch, and all of a sudden, I'm an old pro, bolts out of the pack and just blows everybody away and wins about 4 lengths. And, of course, Eddie was excited about that. On that day, folks, I won $26,000 on my $212 bet, I think is what it was. And over the next 60 years, I have never had a win like that before, okay? However, on Saturday, at Gulfstream Park in Florida, there was a big race, the Pegasus Stakes, the #1 big race of the year. This is a $3 million purse for the horses, so it was not the same as the Kentucky Derby. And there was a horse in there, just like Eddie planned on it. Horse had been away for a couple years. He was now a 7-year-old, and he's running against 4-year-olds. So it's like a 35-year-old man running against guys that are 22 and 23. So he's the old man in the race. But he'd been a great horse. He'd won $3 million. All the other horses had won less than that, but he hadn't ran in a couple of years. And so I love the name of the horse, Skippy Longstocking. So I bet the horse, win, place, and show. I put my money across the board. I bet $160 across the board. And then I put him in a trifecta that he would win with 3 other horses. And we come around, the race starts, boom, Skippy Longstockings takes off and goes wire to wire and wins. And I'm sitting there with my calculator, calculating out $6,250 for my $180 investment. And my friend Alan, who makes bets for me over there, is one of my students, plus he's a handicapper. He had made the bet, and I called him up in silence. And he said, Larry, he said, you're not going to believe what happened. I said, what happened? You didn't make the bet? And he said, no, Larry. He said, I made the bet. I got the ticket here. I says, what's wrong? He said, the girl punched the wrong track. She hit Aqueduct instead of Gulfstream. I said, oh, no. Anyway, he went back to the track manager, complained, and the lady did make a mistake, but it said on the ticket, the bettor's responsible. But what they did do was give us our money back. So that's how I know God loves me. I didn't lose anything on the race. We'll be right back.
Many trading newsletters attempt to focus on a narrow set of equities or commodities. While this works for some, it oftentimes misses many opportunities that possess huge gain potential. But how is an independent trader supposed to scan the entire market looking for these hidden opportunities? One simple answer: the opening call newsletter. Basil Chapman, developer of the Chapman Wave trading methodology, has been trading the markets for longer than most trading influencers have been alive. And over that time, he has honed his methodology in order to accurately call movements in a wide range of equities, from semiconductors to uranium to key indices and so much more. Basil is old school, taking the time to educate the trader while also giving his insights into key indices, selective stocks, and more. Opening Call subscribers also receive access to dozens of educational live streams that can be accessed at any time for your edification. All first-time subscribers receive a 30-day money-back guarantee. So ignore the pop trading influencers and start learning time-tested technical analysis.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento, a pro's pro with over 50 years of experience. Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
For traders who crave risk, Direxion's daily leveraged and inverse ETFs provide opportunities to magnify short-term perspectives with up to 3 times a daily leverage, utilize bull and bear funds from both sides of the trade, and trade through rapidly changing markets. These are highly leveraged ETFs with daily resetting designed for short-term trading, not long-term investing. Whether you're a bull or a bear, you choose the Direxion. For up-to-date pricing and performance, go to Direxion.com. Investing in the funds involves significant risk and should only be utilized by investors who understand the impact of leverage and actively monitor their portfolio. They are not designed to track the underlying index or security for more than a day. Before investing, carefully consider a fund's investment objective, risk, charges, and expenses contained in the prospectus available at Direxion.com. Read carefully. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
This program is brought to you by Vista Gold, traded on the NYSE American and TSX under the symbol VGZ.
Okay, folks, here is the Dow Jones Transportation on the weekly 1, 2, 3 drive to a top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 expanding top pattern. We're down 3 weeks now. In this, you can see because it's a weekly. If we switch over to the daily, you'll be able to see it a little clearer. There's your wedge formation, just like we had in the S&P. Now you can see here we're down all week long. And there we were last Friday. We're below that now. So this is going to be 2 weeks in a row where it's reversed. But it is a same type of that pattern that we're watching here in the S&P, which is very important. Now we got the Federal Reserve in here today. They're going to be talking about interest rates. So let's take a look at the interest rate picture. We're going to come up and take a look at the Treasury bonds first, and then we'll look at the Treasury notes. Okay, here's the Treasury bonds. They still don't look very bullish, as you can see here. They are down on the day. We said that they didn't have much of a bullish chance in here, mainly because all this rally was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. Let's blow it up so we can see it a little better. This is a weekly, too. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. If we measured the last high to the high there, you'll see that that weekly rally stopped exactly at the 382, and then we came down and broke all the way down. Now we're just still in a down move. We're down again today. This rally that we've had over the last week or so, let's put that hourly, 4 hour up. We'll see it real easy. It came right up to the 61% retracement, I believe. There's where we are, that little daily. Oh, nope, it's closer to 786. Let's put it right up there. And there's where we are right now. And all we've done now is we're back down to the 50%, but we still look lower. Now, the Federal Reserve has to come up with $8 trillion, folks, here in the next 10 months to pay for the interest that's out there on the $38 trillion that we have. So the only way you can do that is to hyperinflate. They're going to put more paper into the market, give them some great ideas, and they're going to say, here's a great interest rate, and but people will take the interest rate, and then the things drop, and then they realize about 2 weeks later they were getting only about 2% instead of 6%. But anyway, that's what they'll try to do. They'll inflate these bonds. That's my guess. And if they don't, then we'll have to wait and see. But that's neither here nor there. I don't follow what the Fed does. I watch how people respond to the market, but that's what I'm watching here with that. Now we'll take a look at the Treasury notes. We'll get up here and say right there, here's the Treasury notes. We'll get these up here. We'll take a quick look at them. You can see also they're setting no rally here. You see this week, they didn't have any weekly rally on this. It's just sitting here right at the 50% level with the Fed in here today. So whether they do anything or not, I don't know. There's going to be your last support is going to be down here, which will be the 61% of that move. There's 382. So this should be the last support. maybe this will be the spot where they start to run. I don't know. The Fed can do a lot of different things, folks, with the money that they use. It's our money, supposedly, but that's why it's a private company, folks, for private banks. You've got to remember that. What people don't realize, because they're located at 1900 Pennsylvania as opposed to 1600 Pennsylvania there in Washington, and that everybody thinks that means because it says Federal Reserve. Has nothing to do with the government, folks. It's a private bank. They're hired to take care of our money supply. Is what they're doing. President Kennedy, one of the things he wanted to do was to get rid of the Federal Reserve, just like Samuel Jackson, not Samuel Jackson, Andrew Jackson. Andrew Jackson back in 1937 did that. And it was no Federal Reserve until December of 1913. That's when the stock market started to rally from 1913 to 1926. 1929. How many is that? 16 years, and we've been going up since 1932, and that's 17 years. So we've been up in a bull market for 17 years. That one was 16 years. Whether that means anything, I don't know. I'm just giving you numbers as I see them. So anyway, transportations don't look quite that good. I've already covered the dollar index, and I want to cover Meta. If you'll just bear with me here just a second, because it's in the news a lot about, Zuckerberg. He's as smart. I don't think he's as smart as Elon Musk, because Elon's richier than him. But you'll notice here's the long-term picture on Meta. It's been really bullish. It went from 55 to 800. That's a heck of a run, right? That's a heck of a run. All right, now here's where we are right now. But remember, all during this time now, we'll just get the daily up. You're going to see this is the AI guy that spent more money than anybody. He spent it like it's like a drunken sailor. Not that I have anything against drunks or sailors, but he's been spending a lot of money, and you can see the money hasn't started coming in yet. Now, this morning there was a really big article about how bullish it was, and the market actually opened higher, about $6, and now it's not doing too well. Now, I don't know anything about AI. I don't know anything about Zuckerberg. All I know is, this stock has taken a lot of heat. It's put a lot of money, $500 billion between Meta, Microsoft, and Google have put into the market. $500 billion. I just heard it about an hour before the show went on. That's what we're looking at now. Google has done very well. The price of Google has been one stock that has been resilient to anything. It doesn't make any difference what happens. It's the one that goes up forever. Where's the G's at here? And you'll see that it's still going up. See how it's doing today. And we're even up today. There we are. We're still up today. But we're up there at 334. It has virtually no sell-off. Just straight up. So this has still been very, very bullish. That's one of the very few that have. Let's look at this on the daily, and you'll see there's where we are. Oh, well, today it's actually down. It's still up on the week, but it's down on the day. That's what it is right now. This has been the bullish. Now, if you look at Microsoft, which is one of the greatest investments of, I think it is the greatest stock investment of all time. It is. One share, if you bought it on an original issue, was $146,000 at that time. Hold on one second. Get Microsoft up here. Look at it. I think AI is great, but I think it's got a long way to go. Let's get the daily up here, and we'll see where we are. It's softy because this stock's gotten hit pretty bad. Look at this. Look at where we way back here when we were up at 555. We dropped 155 points, and now we're rallying back here. This is daily, okay? Now we opened another high. We're lower on the day. Let's see if that was a 382 just for kicks and giggles, okay? Put that in there right there. Set it right. Oh, what a lucky guess, Larry. There it is. There's your 382, folks. And how many days is it up? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Boy, that's one of the best things you could possibly look at. So now when you come back, I'm going to show you what I think is the best trade of the coming 2 or 3 months. Well, not counting the stock market, because you already know the bottom line on that. But what we are going to do, What we are going to do is we're going to come up here and take a look at Bitcoin, folks, because that's the one that's a sleeping dog. I got to get rid of this.
If you're looking for potential trading setups in the stock market, then Rocket Equities and Options Report is a newsletter you should try. Tommy O'Brien delivers options and equity trades when the markets present them, using a combination of fundamentals and technicals. Sign up for Rocket Equities and Options Report today with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to risk. For all the details and to start your subscription today, visit the front page of TFNN.com. TFNN, educating investors.
In the world of trading, only a few names stand out like Larry Pesavento. A pro's pro with over 50 years of experience, Larry has seen it all. A former Chicago Mercantile Exchange member, Larry has authored 10 books and trained over 1,000 traders with his unmatched expertise. Introducing Fibonacci 24/7, Larry Pesavento's daily trading service that turns the complexity of markets into opportunities. Published every Sunday, receive a comprehensive report packed with detailed commentary, charts, and videos that illuminate the patterns shaping the markets, with updates throughout the week exclusively for subscribers. Whether through charts or videos, Larry's analysis is your roadmap to navigating the markets. You can sign up now at TFNN.com for just $97. And with all TFNN newsletters backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee, you have nothing to risk. For all the details, visit TFNN.com. You'll find Fibonacci 24/7 right under the newsletters tab.
Steve Rhodes started his trading career as a student almost 20 years ago, and the student has now become the master. Steve won the prestigious Timer of the Year award in 2018 and barely missed that mark again in 2019, finishing at number 2 for the year. An amazing accomplishment. Steve Rhodes is committed to sharing his techniques and knowledge with anyone who wants to learn, and he shares his vast amount of trading knowledge every day in his Mastering Probability newsletter. Steve's award-winning newsletter, Mastering Probability, is delivered every trading day with updates throughout the afternoon. Sign up for Steve's market newsletter, Mastering Probability, and you'll receive access to 7 of Steve's educational webinars absolutely free. At TFNN, all our newsletters come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you have absolutely nothing to worry about. Visit TFNN.com and try Mastering Probability 30 days risk-free today. TFNN, educating investors.
TFNN has launched the Tiger's Den. Hosted at Discord, TFNN has been educating traders for more than 20 years with live programming hosted by a variety of professional traders during market hours. The Tiger's Den, available to all tigers and tigresses for just $1 for the year. There's no catch or added costs when you join our community of traders. Sign up today and become a part of this educational community of traders. Just visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Don't forget, you can listen to TFNN live on your mobile device 24 hours per day. Go to TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV. That's TFNN.com, then hit Watch Tiger TV.
Okay, folks, 2 weeks ago, I said the best I thought was the best trade coming up was this trade here in Bitcoin. Folks, I've never traded Bitcoin. I still haven't. But it had an ABCD pattern exactly at the 382, and it took 6 weeks for that to complete. That's incredibly bearish. Here is a smaller ABCD pattern. It's at the 50% level. So when you have a 382, over this period of time, this is really bearish. You can see it's been down for quite a bit. Look at this 3-day rally. This 3-day rally can't even rally 10%. This is really bearish. I know it's up 239 today, but this is incredibly bearish for this. Now, I don't know if it has anything to do with gold or anything like that. I mean, you think that the gold guys are certainly not want to do anything with Bitcoin because you can't hold it in your hand, you can't taste it, you can't use it as a paperweight or anything. So I don't know if it means anything or not. It just looks incredibly bearish. This used to be the risk on, risk off indicator back when it was in the 115s, 120s, but now that we're down to 89,000, and this thing used to trade for pennies, folks. Pennies. I think at first, people got interested in it, $100 a share, nobody would, or a coin, nobody would be interested in it. Now look at it, $90,000 a coin. Whew, it's a lot of bread. Holy cow. Stop and think, though, folks. If you had bought one share of Microsoft when it came out in May of 1986 for $17, that stock is worth today, one share is worth $146,000. That's what it's worth. That's a lot of money. Okay, folks, I want you to live every day in an attitude of gratitude, and may God bless. Our guest tomorrow will be Mr. Stan Harley. He's in travel mode, but where he's traveling, they have electricity, God willing, and he'll be our guest, and we'll be talking to him about the markets. And I know he's still bullish, so no reason not to. My stocks are going higher, and the Fed is going to be speaking in 4 minutes. May God bless.